children, welcome back to our online classes, Thought Phase online classes. Hope all of you are doing well. Okay, now today we are going to start the new topic, that is states of matter. Okay, now what are matters? Now children, if you see around or if you go outside the house, you can see so many things. If you go outside, you can see plants, animals, birds, flowers, stones, house, building, so many things you can see, isn't it? And if you come inside the house or inside the room, what do you see? You can see like table, chair, books, copies, bed, so many things you can see, and all these things are made up of matter. Okay, so everything are made up of matter. Now what is matter? Matter, any substances or any things that you see around, all these things are made up of matter. That means these things, these substances, they have some weight, okay, some weight or mass, and they occupy some space, okay, and this they are called matters. Now for example, now I am here, I am standing here. Now I have some weight, isn't it? I am something kg, isn't it? I have some weight, and that means I have mass, and where I am standing, in certain place, isn't it? And that means that certain place is occupied by me. Okay, so I have weight also, and I occupy the space also, so I am also a matter. Okay children, understood what are matters? Any substances that has weight and occupies space, they are called matters. Okay, and what are matters? Now look here. Now amount of space taken up by matter of a substance is known as volume. Now space, okay, amount of space taken by that matter, okay, of a substance, matter of a substance is known as volume. So okay, understood children what are volume? Any space, okay, amount of space taken up by the matter of a substance is known as volume. Now these matters are made up of some things, isn't it? Some small particles, okay, all the matters, everything. Now suppose this is bat, isn't it? TT bat, table tennis bat, and this is a marker pen. All these things are things, okay, they are matters, they are made up of matters, okay, and these matters are made up of tiny particles, okay, and that particles are called molecules. Okay, now I have written here, matters are made up of tiny particles called molecules, molecules, molecules. Okay, and these molecules are so small or so tiny that you cannot see with your naked eyes. Okay, you cannot see with this naked eyes, you have to see under a magnifying microscope. Okay, microscope, you know, if you go to the lab you can see that, isn't it? It has a very powerful glass, so under that microscope only you can see the molecules. So molecules are very small particles. Okay, so all the matters, they are made up of tiny particles, and that particles are called molecules. Okay, now children, these matters are divided into three parts, okay, in three states. And what are they? Solid, liquid and gas. Now if you see here I have drawn some small round here like a ball. Here also I have drawn, and here also I have drawn. Now in this ball, small black dot, have you seen here? So these are the molecules. In this solid, molecules are very tightly packed. Okay, they are very tight with each other. They cannot move from one place to another. They are so tight, isn't it? Now if you are put inside the room and so many students are there that you have no place to move around, isn't it? That means they don't have any space to go around, to play around, isn't it? That means they are closely packed, isn't it? Like that. So in solid also all the molecules are very tightly packed. Now next is liquid. In liquid, molecules are not very tightly packed like in solid. They are little bit loose, isn't it? That means they are free to move. Okay, later on I will show you the examples also. They are free to move from one place to another, or from one direction to another direction in liquid. And in gas, they are free to move in any direction, isn't it? Air, you know air. Now this room is full of air, but you cannot see air, isn't it? Can you see it? You cannot see, but you can feel the air, isn't it? So this room is occupied with air, so they are free to move in any direction. Understood? So now I'll explain you in details. In solid, these molecules are tightly packed, so the things they have definite shape, volume, they are very hard, does not flow. Okay, molecules are closely packed with each other. Now example, this bat only. Okay, now this bat is very hard, you cannot bend it, isn't it? You cannot easily break it, you cannot squeeze it like a ball, isn't it? Or like a balloon, you cannot squeeze. It's very hard, isn't it? Why it is hard? Because of tightly packed molecules. Understood, children? Now see the shape, it has a definite shape, that means it has fixed shape. Now see, it has some fixed shape, isn't it? You cannot change the shape. Understood? If you put this bag into another container or in another bag, the shape will change. The bat of this the shape of this bat will change. No, it remains same, isn't it? If I keep here, the shape of the bat also remains same. Understood? So this solid, they have the fixed shape. Okay, they cannot change. And the volume also same. That space, that how much, that is volume. What is space? Volume means space taken up by the matter. Now space also, how much space it occupies. Okay, so that is same. So if I keep here, so how much space it occupies? This much space it occupies. That means this thing. And if I keep here, same space is occupied, isn't it? That means volume also remains same. Understood? And they are not easily flow. They are not like water, not like liquid, so they cannot flow. So this is solid. So this is one state of matter, solid. Okay. Another is liquid. Now liquid means, so many examples of liquid is there. Number one, water, isn't it? Milk is there, oil, cooking oil is there, kerosene oil is there, diesel, petrol. So many, all these things are liquid. They can easily flow, isn't it? You can pour from one container to another container. They can easily flow from one direction. If you spill water, it will flow in all directions on the floor also, isn't it? That means they are easily moved. They are free to move in all directions. Why they are free to move? Because molecules are not very tightly packed. They are little bit loose. Some spaces are there, so they can move everywhere. Suppose in a room, only few students are there, isn't it? Certain, and you'll have a sufficient place to play inside the classroom also, isn't it? If so many students are there, that means you don't have any place to come out from your desk, bench and play, isn't it? And if few students are there, less students are there, that means you can easily move in all the directions inside your classroom also. So like that, this liquid also, molecules are not very tightly packed. They are little bit loose, isn't it? So they can move with one direction to another direction. Okay. And no definite shape. This liquid, they are free to move, that's why they have no definite shape, but takes the shape of a container. Now I'll show you example. Now this is, what is this? Bottle, isn't it? Now what is inside this bottle? Water is there. Now what is the shape of the water in this now here in the bottle? The shape of the water, okay, it takes the shape of this container. Now what is this container? Bottle. That means the shape of this liquid is this bottle itself. Okay. Now this bottle, sorry, not this bottle, this water, if I pour into another glass. Now here I pour water in a glass. Now what is the shape of the water? Can you tell? Now shape of the water is this glass itself. That means this liquid takes the shape of a container. Now what is the container? Glass. Now if the water is here, what is this container here? Bottle. The shape of the water is bottle itself, and here the shape of the water is glass itself. Okay. Now if I pour the same water in a bowl, you can see it here. Now what is the shape of the water here? It takes the shape of this bowl, okay, or the shape of this container. So water, they are easily flow, isn't it? They can flow from one direction to another direction. You can pour from one container to another container. Why you can pour like that? Because molecules are tight, they are loosely packed, not very tight. Whereas this pen, if you put inside the glass, the shape of the pen remains same. It doesn't take the shape of a bottle because it does not flow, isn't it? If you put into a glass, does this pen take the shape of this glass? No, it remains pen only because this is solid. Molecules are tightly packed, so this solid does not change the shape. It remains the same. Whereas this liquid, it changes the shape. Okay. So it takes the shape of a container. Now here it takes the shape of a glass. So this liquid molecules are loosely packed. So they are free to move. So you can pour from one container to another container, and so they are called liquid. So they are free to move. Okay. And they do not have definite shape, because it takes the shape of a container. In which container you put, it takes the shape of that. Okay. But volume remains same. If here this is one glass of water, if you pour in another container, but the quantity of that water, the volume of that water remains same. Volume does not change in liquid. Okay. Only the shape will change. Okay, children. So, and they are not very hard. They are not hard. Liquids, they are not hard. Okay. Now next is gas. Now see, I have already told you that time that this room is full of gas, isn't it? Or air. You cannot see, but it is there in every direction. It is what? Filled with air. So it can move from in all the direction. Why air move in all the direction? Because the molecules, you can see the dot here, they are far apart. They are very loose, isn't it? So there are so much space. They are enough to move here and there. Okay, that's why air. Like here I have got one incense stick. Now here, what is this? Agarbatti. Okay. Now see the smoke. Can you see the smoke? Now it is moving in all the directions, isn't it? Why? Because the molecules in this air or in this smoke, they are very loosely packed. So they can move in all the direction. Okay. You can feel the smell. That means it is moving everywhere. So you can feel the smell of this agarbatti or incense stick. Okay. So air has, their molecules are very loosely packed. Okay. So they move in all the direction. Okay. Now see, I don't have balloon to show you, but here I have got one plastic, this poly bag. Okay. Plastic bag. Now this is very loose. Now if it has also some weight, isn't it? Now see, they are very loose. Now if I put, nothing is there, isn't it? Now if I blow, now it has this one. Okay. Now see, it has become like a ball, isn't it? It has fallen. Then what is inside here? Air is inside here. It is filled with air. Now the shape of the air inside this poly bag is, it takes the shape of this thing. Okay, so this gas also takes the shape of a container or things. Okay, now this room is filled with air. That means what is the shape of the air? It is filled with air. That means the shape of the air is room itself. Okay, now what is the shape of the air inside here? It is a poly bag. It is the shape of the air is inside this the shape of this bag. Okay, that means gas also takes the shape of a things. Okay, container. That means no definite shape or volume. You cannot measure or you cannot take the shape. Okay, but it takes the shape of and volume of a container. It doesn't have its own fixed shape and volume, but it takes the shape of a and volume of a container. Okay, now here I have got one ball. Okay, now this is a small ball. Now this ball also, it is filled with air. If you give a punch here, then all the gas will out. Okay, isn't it? All the gas will come out from the ball and it becomes very flat. You can easily squeeze it. But now it is spongy. You can easily sponge like this, isn't it? That means it is filled with air. Now shape of the air inside is it takes the shape of a ball. So like liquid, this gas also takes the shape and volume of a container. Okay, it doesn't have its own shape and volume, but it takes the shape of a container. Okay, children. So this is all about three kinds of matters. Okay, so what are the three kinds of matters? Solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, so this is all about today matter, states of matter. Okay, so more on next class. Okay, see you children. Bye. Take care.